This is a brilliant move by Barcelona to sign Marcus Rashford with a loan deal with a buy option. Not an obligation, not a mandatory buy. You see him for one season. If you like what you see, you buy him. If you don't, send him back to Manchester. I think this is a brilliant move by Barcelona because there was talk about them signing Lucho Diaz for 60 million, 70 million. Look, I love Lucho. I think he's a great player. For not for 70 million. At his age, with the contract length, I think that would have been stupid business by Barcelona. When they have money, Barcelona, they're drug addicts. They don't know how to act with the money. But they did the right thing here in signing Marcus Rashford. So we're going to talk about how is he going to fit into Barcelona? Can he rectify his career? And what does this mean for Manchester United? Because they loan him out with a buy option. There's no mandatory. So if he does bad, he's back on Manchester United's books. So let's talk about it. Marcus Rashford to Barcelona, here we go. Verbal agreement in principle between all parties involved, with Barca planning for medical tests the next couple of days. Loan deal with buy option, details being finalized today. Then Manchester United will authorize his travel to Spain. Now, overall in the last couple of seasons, Marcus Rashford has underperformed. Ever since he had that great year in 22-23 where he scored 17 goals in the Premier League, was absolutely outstanding. I remember that run he had like in February, January, December. You couldn't stop Marcus Rashford. But now, last couple of years, injuries have caught up to him. He had a really bad injury season. What was it, like 23, 24? Also, last season, he had that season-ending injury with Aston Villa with the hamstring. So that's one thing Barcelona have to be careful with Rashford. He's getting a lot of injuries. Just these small little injuries that could affect his play, affect his rhythm within the game. But if he's on form, Rashford is a good player. I never thought to myself, this guy's going to be world class. He's going to be a top 10, top 15 player in the world. Obviously, Manchester United fans, they love to, glow up their players. And Rashford was a very promising player when he started at United. Under Louis van Gaal, had that great run against Arsenal. I think his first goal was against Midtjylland. He's been very much a mainstay player for United. Obviously terrorizing Trent Alexander-Arnold whenever possible. And he's probably going to do the same thing against Real Madrid in La Liga. And I think right now for Rashford, his Manchester United career is done. It's done. Amorim doesn't like him. The board, I think, are tired of him. Maybe the fans, or some fans, are at least tired of him. So for Rashford, there was no point going back to Manchester and thinking to himself, I can turn around here. It's done. The relationship is over. The divorce papers are there. Now you have to move on. And I think for Rashford, he wanted this move to Barcelona. Who wouldn't want to live here? As maybe some of you know, I live in Barcelona. This is a fantastic city. The food is great, the weather is fantastic, and the football is elite. One thing Barcelona have to do is get the Camp Nou ready. Nobody wants to play in the Montjuic. It's a terrible stadium. Camp Nou needs to be ASAP ready. But that's a story for another day. Rashford to Barcelona is a great move. They were linked to Nico Williams, and obviously Nico Williams did a pump fake and stayed at Athletic Club. There was rumors of Lucho Diaz. That would have been a horrific deal, as I already explained earlier in the video. I think another deal that would have been really good would have been Ademola Lookman, but it looks like he's going to Inter, or Antonio Nusa from RB Leipzig. But that could be a sort of transfer in the future, maybe 2 years in the future. You could probably see Antonio Nusa make the move to Barcelona because I think he's a talented player. Yes, he's had some injuries. He hasn't been consistent with his performances. But when he's on it, Antonio Nusa, the kid is an unbelievable player. But that's a story for another day when it comes to all possible future transfers for Barcelona. But I think Rashford is the smart option. Get a loan deal. He has something to prove. He wants to be at Barcelona. And he's under a great coach, under a great system. A system that has gotten the best of Ferran Torres, the best of Rafinha. If you can get the best out of those two players, where many were criticizing a lot in the Barcelona fan base, neutrals as well, what do you think Hansi Flick is going to do with Rashford? Rashford has all the ability to be a top player. He just needs, I think, the right environment, the right coach, and heck, he could probably do it at Barcelona. Because I think Hansi Flick's system is just perfect. It's perfect for attacking players. The amount of chances they generate, the amount of chances by pressing high up the field, moving the ball quickly, individual skill of Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Pedri. Pedri can find those runs in behind from Rashford, and Rashford, all he just needs to think about is the finish, or he can cut inside. Because the one thing Rafinha did a lot was kind of find that left 10 position to receive the ball. I'm also going to talk about how they could set up with Rashford, maybe even in the starting 11. Rashford receiving that ball in the left 10 position and just taking the shots. Look at the amount of goals that Lamine Yamal scored outside the box. Rashford, He's fantastic with those long shots. He will be perfect in this situation. Alejandro Balde making those overlapping runs. I think this is the best solution possible. I don't think Rashford was going to work out anymore in the Premier League. Maybe he could have gone to a Bayern Munich. Maybe he could have gone to some Serie A club. But Barcelona, he's not guaranteed the start. He has to earn it. That's one thing maybe Hansi Flick was talking to Rashford about. You need to earn your spot if you want to be in the starting 11 or even on the bench. Because now Barcelona, they got Lamine Yamal, Rooney Bargi on the right side. Striker, you got Lewandowski, Ferran Torres. Left side, you got Rafinha and Rashford. If Rashford wants to start, he's got to perform. He can even play in the striker position. So I think for Hansi Flick, now he's got more added depth into the team. That was one probably criticism that Barcelona had last year, was the lack of depth. And I mean, Ferran Torres did his best and Ansu Fati just wasn't performing at all. I think when you look at Ansu Fati from last year, he was not going to change his career at Barcelona. He needed to move away. Obviously went to Monaco. So getting a new player like Rashford could inject some excitement within the front line, some added quality that maybe Ansu Fati was lacking because of all the injuries he has suffered from. And now you can have Rashford in the striker position. You can give a rest to Lewandowski. You can put him out wide on the left, or they can change positions between him and Ferran Torres when Rafinha need a rest or Lamine Yamal need a rest. So this helps a lot with Barcelona's team for next season, because we know what Barcelona's objective is next year. Win the La Liga again, win Copa del Rey again, and win the Champions League for the first time in a long time. That is the aspirations this Barcelona team have. I think they've had a really good window. Getting Johan Garcia, I mean, the best goalkeeper in La Liga last year. I mean, the guy was single-handedly saved Espanyol. Rooney Bargi, talented player, maybe just needs a new environment. Obviously coming off a very long-term injury. And he's a good option off the bench. And he's very much long-term signing as well for Barcelona. And Marcus Rashford. For Barcelona, they don't have a lot of finances. We can all talk about, oh, they could have spent money on Nico Williams. They could have spent money on Lucho Diaz. The one thing Barcelona need to do is be smart with the money. So this window is about strengthening the positions you really need to. Goalkeeper, you really need it. I still think they need a right back, and then just getting the cheap options off the bench, like a Rashford and a Bargi. So the Rashford signing is perfect. It's very good business, and now it adds more attacking quality already on top of the most exciting attacking front line from last season in Europe. And I think this is going to really help Lamine Yamal. I think this is going to help Rafinha, because now Rafinha can even play in the 10, a position he's very comfortable in as well. Rashford can play as striker. I just think this is a massive, massive positive for Barcelona. For Manchester United, it's like, okay, you get rid of him for one season. What if he fails? What if he picks up another long-term injury and he just doesn't work out with Barcelona? And Barcelona are like, all right, you can go back to Manchester. We're not going to activate the buy option. Adios. Ciao, ciao. You can go back to Manchester in the cold weather. Manchester United are still stuck with him. So why did you not add a mandatory buy to the contract for Barcelona? I think it's kind of craziness from Manchester United's perspective, because he could fail. Like, we can all talk about the positives of this signing and saying, oh yeah, Rashford could maybe work out a lot because it's a new environment. He's under a very good coach in Hansi Flick, a very good system. But sometimes they just don't work out. Sometimes the signings don't work out. So it could be a possibility he doesn't work out and he goes back to Manchester. I think that's the last thing Man United want and Rashford want, is getting back together after another breakup, It's a weird transfer from Manchester United's perspective, but they're really just hoping, hey, Rashford, you go to sunny Barcelona. Hopefully you work out, and hopefully Barcelona just say, all right, we'll activate the option and we'll keep him then for 3 to 4 years here in Barcelona. And then after that, he can go somewhere else in Europe. Maybe that's what Barcelona and Manchester United are thinking. But hey, I think this is going to be one of those smart signings over this summer. We can all talk about, Kerkez, Frimpong, or Johan Garcia going to Barcelona, other smart signings that there have been around Europe, Huijsen going to Real Madrid. This could be a low-key 10 out of 10 transfer. Not because I believe that Rashford is going to get 20 goals and 10 assists with Barcelona, but he could be really critical in those big moments for Barcelona. We're maybe in a situation Barcelona are 2-2 in El Clasico. They needed an option off the bench. Whereas before, it was Ferran Torres, who, yes, Ferran Torres did very well last year. Otherwise, it's Ansu Fati. That's not the option you need. You need an option like Rashford. Pace, dribbling ability, and goal-scoring IQ. There's your option. So, overall, I think this is a very smart business from Barcelona. not the smartest from Manchester United's perspective. And now we're going to really see, can Rashford rectify his career? Because we're heading into a World Cup year, people. Do you think Rashford is right now in the England setup for the World Cup? Nope. He is nowhere near Thomas Tuchel's starting 11 or the bench. Let's say he has a very good season with Barcelona. Maybe he gets like 15 goals in all competitions. He does very well in the Champions League. And then Thomas Tuchel's like, oh, Rashford's actually doing well. Do you think then maybe Rashford gets selected to the World Cup? Those are some possibilities. I think Rashford kind of looked at his England career and thought to himself, I need to make a move. Otherwise, it's done. Tuchel will never call me up. Very smart business from Barcelona's perspective, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. How would you rate this transfer? Do you think Rashford can rectify his career in Barcelona? And from Manchester United fans' perspective, are you happy that he's gone? Or are you not happy that there's no mandatory buy at the end of this contract? Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and remember to follow me on all the socials. Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord, all those links, the description down below. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time, adios.